Hi my pretties, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since my last video. I think the last video I made was during my leave of absence when I was having that mental crisis in April. And speaking of my mental health crisis, I think it was either last weekend or no, it was last Friday, after talking with my therapist on just journaling and writing out, or recording myself speaking all my thoughts and just kind of go mumbo jumbo on that. And we were also talking about, like, because I also told her, like, I was just feeling like in a really good space, like not everything was affecting my mental health in a bad way. When things did go wrong, I was like, well, yeah, it is what it is. Not everything's gonna go the way that I expected. And let's be honest, there are people that are having way terrible problems, way more worse problems than I am. Like with Ukraine, they're still fighting a war against Russia, and refugees leaving their homes and all of their souvenirs and memories in Ukraine for safety into other countries. And let's be honest, some of those countries are probably xenophobic, because they're like, look at these Ukrainians taking all of our jobs, like how bigots in America do. But yeah, I was explaining to her that I was just feeling so good, just focusing on the positives instead of focusing on the negatives in my life. And she told me that also, like, bad things could be a good thing, like they're just a blessing in disguise. And when she said that, that clicked, because had the guy I went on a date with tell me I wasn't mature and that's not attractive to him, and had I not gone to a downward spiral and tried to take my own life, I wouldn't be talking to a therapist, going over all the trauma I've been through, as well as trying to find better ways of navigating those negative emotions I have. Like, had he be like, yeah, you seem like a cool girl or whatever, let's get into a relationship, I would have been bringing the baggage that I've, be honest, been pretending that didn't exist, like shoving into my mental closet, like how I do with my clothes when I don't have room to put it in my drawers or don't want to feel like hanging it. It made it, when my therapist said that, it made me realize it is a good thing that he said I wasn't mature and I had went down that downward spiral. It really did open my eyes and realize, yeah, I'm not mature. I have problems I have to deal with first before I even think about a relationship. Because again, had he said, you seem like a girl I want to be going out with, let's continue whatever this is between us and be exclusive or whatever, I would have been bringing that baggage with me, causing the relationship be toxic for both of us, where I would be completely emotional when something doesn't go right or become suicidal, and he doesn't really know how to handle me being suicidal. And then also, had he not said that, I would not have been diagnosed with the anxiety, my adjusted disorder with depressed moods, situational depression, or my suicidal agitation, or had said something asking for help. Like, I'll be honest, I had suicidal thoughts and have self-harm since middle school. There was a bit of a break for 7 years where I was still having thoughts, but I wasn't self-harming. And then I fell off the wagon by October 2021 when my finances roles just took over, and my anxiety for that kicked start that self-harm again. I did stop again until June with another guy. rejecting me and kicking back with suicidal thoughts, self-critical, becoming just overthinking everything. And then it's just like a lot just about that did happen, but in reality, he was right. I cannot be mad about that he was right. I was not mature enough. Do I feel like I'm mature? I feel like I'm getting there. Like, I would say I feel like I'm getting there. I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm mature enough to be in a relationship. I don't think I am. Like, I'm still dealing with how to navigate the emotions I get, like when I get rejected for a job opportunity that I applied for. Hold on, I got my water real quick. Ooh, ice water, so good. Or if somebody says that whatever's happening between us isn't working out, it's not what they're looking for. I'm not what they're looking for. And I did, like, on Friday, last Friday, I wrote kind of like this letter, just explaining in a way that I thanked him for telling me that. Because had he not, I would have still been pretending I was fine on the surface, but going deeper into those layers of my personality, suicidal thoughts, self-harming, not having a healthy control of my emotions, not having a way where I can navigate the anger, the sadness, the anxiety, all of those negative emotions that pull me down into those suicidal thoughts and self-harming. And then even then, had he not even said that, I wouldn't even have gotten an apology from my brother about, sorry, I always get emotional with my dad's death. It's just one of those things. I always get touchy. People can, like, see it in my eyes, like, they start kind of getting teary-eyed, or my voice kind of breaks or cracks or whatever. It's just, my voice kind of gets a little on this kind of wavy kind of sound. But had my brother not apologized for not even telling me about what was going on when my dad passed away, I would still been harvesting that anger I was like harvesting that anger for another year, which would have been 16 years. And also not seeing it from my other, like, everyone else's perspective. Like, with my mom, I didn't see it from her perspective. Like, she just lost her husband that she's been with for 30-something years, for a pretty long freaking time. And then the same thing, my sister, she was just 14. Like, I was, throughout those, like, almost 16 years, I was only seeing it from my perspective. Like, I was upset. Nobody told me what was going on. I had to find out he's dead in the casket, dressed in his Sunday best at his own funeral. But now that I got that apology, I got closure on that anger, and I was able to let that anger go and feel much lighter now. Like, I honestly, the moment I got that apology, that night of, I went to bed, I felt lighter. Like, it felt like my chest felt lighter. Like, it felt like it was much easier to breathe. Hard to explain, but when you're harvesting anger for over 10 years and you get an apology and closure and a new perspective on the reason why you were so angry for so long, it gives you, again, closure, and it finally gives you reason to let go of that anger. And that's what that felt like I was finally able to let go of that anger, and it felt like my 9-year-old self was finally healing. Now I feel like I definitely have to work on healing my adolescent and teen self, because that's with the adolescent, that's when I started picking up self-harming, because the mental abuse that I witnessed and dealt with my stepdad is just, it felt like I couldn't say what I want to say without him getting upset and turning it into a lecture. So that's why now I monitor what I say to people, because I'm afraid of how they react. Will they get upset with me if I say whatever on my mind? Like, to an extent. Like, I don't say every single thing on my mind. That's why even like here, I'm so careful with what I say, because I'm so afraid of getting in trouble for saying what I want to say on camera. And that's kind of the reason why I'm not good friends with people anymore, is I'm pulling away from people and not saying what's on my mind and letting people know the real me, like seeing who I am as a person, what was going on in my head. But besides what goes on in my head, I just pull away from people. And going back to me texting the guy kind of like a thank you note. I'm not, like, I think he was right. Like, had we gotten into the relationship, I would have made it a terrible fucking relationship for him. Because I would have been one moment pretty happy or whatever, and then the next minute I might be gaslighting him or calling him something, this name calling, which is mental abuse, because that's making you feel bad and like kind of putting, and then like throwing rocks into a person's self-esteem. Weird analogy, but like, you know how you throw rocks at a glass window and you start seeing these cracks? That's how self-esteem is. It's glass. It's easy to break. But I think that's what happened for me, is dealing with that mental abuse. Being like, oh, you're lazy, you're not good enough, you only do this and this, you can do more and stuff. It kind of affects you in a way. And that's why like, when you're a kid, you have all the confidence in the world, because you don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, you're a kid. And that's why I was so able to say whatever I thought most of the time before he came into the picture. But once he came to the picture, it felt like I couldn't say what I want to say. Like, even when my mom started dating him, I had my doubts about it. Because for one, I'm like, how the hell do you date somebody 6 months after the person you've been with for a long time just passed away? And then I had this kind of like, you know how mothers have this intuition about someone? That's what I had, is I had this feeling that this person's not good. Not like good enough, but not a good person at heart. But I try to not judge people, because like, maybe my gut instinct is wrong. But sadly, my gut instinct was right. Because guess what I had to deal with? I had to deal with mental abuse, sometimes physical, and also being sexually harassed by him. And explaining the sexual harassment is, I don't know if I want to, no, I'm not going to go into it in this video, because I'm still not ready at that time. just leave that I was sexually harassed. Like, maybe in another video I'll delve into that. But I just felt like I knew I was right, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, well, my mom does deserve to be happy, but looking back on it, was she ever really happy in the relationship? Maybe in the beginning, maybe sometimes, but I feel like most of the time she just, and I think also it's because she's never been by herself, like not in a relationship, not living with somebody. Because she went from living with my grandma, then moved in with my dad, and then moved in with my stepdad, and I'm like, and for me, I'm afraid to continue that cycle myself, where I move out from living with, move away from living with my mom, and move in with somebody I got into a relationship with. Because I don't want to do that cycle, but with the way the economy is, I have no choice but have a roommate. But I want to be like how my sister is, where you move out, she's moving out and living on her own, like by herself. Because I think even with my brothers, it was the same thing. Lived with mom, moved in with their significant others. So they were also continuing the cycle my mom was doing. And I don't want to continue that cycle. Like, I want to be able to move out on my own and stand on my own 2 feet. Like, I don't want to depend on people. Like, it's, sorry, I'm brushing my hair while we're talking. I don't know why. But, yeah, like, yes, I want to be able to ask people for help, but I just don't like feeling like I have to depend on somebody all the time. Like, I don't want to depend on a boyfriend and have that blow up in my face. Hold on, got some glue on my arm. Ooh, that was satisfying. It came off in one little piece. But yeah. But like, oh, sorry, I just wish this camera would go up more. But yeah, like, I don't want to depend on a boyfriend and to have that blow up in my face where I'm now in another kind of abusive environment. I just don't want to deal with more abuse. I've dealt with it enough, and I don't want to go through that again. And even then, had I gotten into the relationship with him, would either one of us have been abusive to the other person? That's what I do worry about. Like, what if I did get into that relationship and he ended up being abusive to me? Like, I hear all these stories where these women and men, they get into a relationship and it starts off all nice and peachy, rosy and all this crap, and then one day it switched and their partner is abusive to them, physically, mentally, financially, sexually, like all that. And I'm like, and then some of them, they might stay because they might have kids with that person, or they are not able to leave because they are dependent on that person financially. And I'm like, that's what I don't want to do. And that's what I'm afraid of with relationships too, is I don't want to be dependent on my significant other and then have him become abusive and then hold all this power over me because I'm depending on him financially. So yeah, but again, I sent him a text. I put him on mute because I was afraid that he would respond. And I'm like, wouldn't you find it weird that the person you hooked up with like almost 2 months ago sent you a text thanking you for sending them a rejection text and telling you that they tried to take their own lives and are now in therapy because of it. Like, I would find that weird, but like, I still want to thank him, because like, had he not, I wouldn't be doing this, like vlogging again, or talking with the therapist, taking medication for anxiety and my depression. I would have still been pretending everything was fine on the surface, and everything underneath was the demons I was pretending that didn't exist. Ooh, hold on. I want to move a little back. Oh, that's much better. So, I'm gonna sit all the way close up, but like, and then even then at the end of the message I wrote, I said, I'm leaving the door open if you want to be friends or anything else. That's up to you. The ball's in your court if you want to be friends with me. If not, that's your decision. I'm not gonna hold that against you. Like, it is what it is. Like, I said what I said, and you're allowed to feel the way that you feel in any type of way. And then also, I did say I don't want him to feel guilty, because it's not his fault. I'm not mentally okay. Like, I have a lot to deal with before I get into a relationship. And he was right. Again, like I said, he was right. I'm not ready to be in a relationship. I have way too much going on. Too many problems I need to deal with first. And then also, and then again, I also just like I said, I just left the door open. Like, if you're cool with being friends, we can be friends. If you want to try dating again, try a romantic relationship again, okay? And then I even said, if our paths even cross again, this is not a really likely chance, but you never know. I do believe that the universe has something out for me. The plan is what it is. I don't know, but I said, if our path ever cross again, I hope that I am a bit healthier, mentally healthier and mature person in that future. Well, in the future in general, like, yeah. But like, even then, like, I can say like a lot, don't I? Jesus Christ. But yeah, I said I want to leave the door open if he wants to be friends or whatever. It's his decision. But if not, I wish him nothing but the best. Like, I have nothing against him. He has the right to say what he says, and I have the right to react the way that I react. And it is now the reason why I'm now getting the help that I need. Speaking with the therapist that I love. She's amazing. She literally understands and kind of helps me navigate what I'm going through. I'm now on medication. I'm focusing on doing hobbies. Like, I now have a virtual book club, which I'll put a link in the description down below if you guys want to join, or just kind of look, see what it's about. And I planted some marigolds. I got like this growing kit for Five Below, and I have like about like 10 little sprouts just popped out of the soil. And that's the marigolds. That's the metaphor of my growing to become a better version of myself. And then I have another tool to help me navigate the days where I feel low, or even when I feel like I'm at a good high. It's still good. I have this app called I Am. One of my coworkers suggested to me. I looked it up and downloaded it, and I get these affirmations for love, self-love, and, you know, positive thinking, just all of these different affirmations that makes you feel like, yeah, this is okay, this is right, I believe this affirmation, I deserve respect. I will be happy, healthy, and successful. I will I will take calm over worry, faith over fear, that kind of stuff. So it's also like a good tool for me. So when I do have my lows, I get a notification from that app, and I'm like, yeah, this is true. Just getting a positive affirmation makes me feel better. Like in a way, it makes me feel better. Like, okay, they're right. This I will get through this situation, and once the situation's over, I will have my head held up high because I got through it with the strength that I'm giving. And then even when I have my high days, it's still good to get a positive affirmation because it just puts you in a better mood even when you are in a great mood. And then, yeah. So as of now, I would say I'm improving in my mental health. Like, I'm focusing more on my positives and just dealing with my positives and doing a better job on navigating when I have my lows. Because with my financial situation, that's one of the reasons why I get triggered to become suicidal and have self-harm and all this. My bank account is in the negatives, but I'm not upset. I'm not going crazy because one, I don't have a bill coming up now. Two, it's not the end of the world. I get paid this week, but still, that paycheck is gonna go that because rent, transportation, and maybe food. Yeah. But honestly, I'm excited I'm just like, from comparing to seeing me in April and now, two different people. Cause I can like ask anybody, what did I look like in April? They can say I looked like I was just been kicked. Like I just was down. Like even my mom, she noticed everything about me because it's hard to hide my emotions because I'm a girl who wears her heart on the sleeve. I do not have a poker face. So anybody will know how I feel by my facial expression. And when I was in Empath, which is a psych ward at the hospital I went to, she talked to one of the doctors, and she said that my daughter has been looking down in the dumps. Like, she's just looked depressed, doesn't want to do much, just won't do a lot. And compared to me now, I'm much happier. I'm much happier. Like, I'm focusing more on my positives. Like, look at these glasses. I got from America's Best. They are freaking cute. Like, when I get compliments on these, I get happy. Like, you know you get happy when you get compliments. Like, oh my god. Like, look at these. I don't even realize I do have kind of like a pink undertone. So that's why these glasses go so well. But it also makes sense why pink is my favorite color. It just goes well on my skin. And then just focusing on positives instead of just focusing so much on negatives, because that's the reason why I just be so suicidal. Is I'm just focusing way too much on what's wrong and then what's going right. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing lately, is just focusing on my positives, focus on what is going right, and then worry less about what's going wrong. And that's why I haven't been completely sad or just completely down in the dumps anymore, is I'm not worrying about what's wrong. And I think that what could have played in me looking so sad to people. But yeah. But I hope you guys are enjoying your day, afternoon, or evening. Until then, bye guys.